Happy Monday. Just smashed out another 3 hours of work on a Google ad, optimizing the key terms, optimizing the landing pages, and splitting up some ad groups. So it's a Google ad campaign and an SEO campaign for a music lessons, music tutoring school, music studio, music school, you name the key terms, we're targeting them. Over the last year or so, we've evolved the campaign to something like 12 unique ad groups. So an ad group is essentially where the business wants specific inquiries, for example, music, guitar, drum, singing, violin. And what we've done is we've created separate ad groups for each. So that way we can see how much money goes into each ad group, and we're tracking conversions. So it's really important to have data to track conversions correctly. And how we track conversions, and conversions are essentially understanding what is coming from the ad. So we're going to spend X amount of money on this marketing strategy. What do we get in return? And a simple way to set that up is a landing page that is hidden away from organic traffic, that is hidden away from social media. And essentially we de-index that page, we hide it so standard traffic can't get to it, and we just send the Google Ads traffic to that page or the Facebook Ads traffic to that page. And to kick things off, we generally start with a generic page. So for things like pest control, it'll be a generic pest control page targeting standard pest control services. From there, it will evolve to targeted stuff, things like termites or dead animal removal, mice removal, rat removal. And what that does is it increases the chance of a conversion. So when someone is looking for the term, termite inspections or termite control, termite treatment, and they land on a page that's just dedicated to termites, they're more likely to inquire. In the building and construction, a good example of this is, I've got a few clients in the building space. A good example of this is dual occupancy builds. Show them only dual occupancy projects, ideally in the targeted area that you're running the ad on. Or luxury builds. Don't show them renovations or apartment builds, show them luxury builds that demonstrate proof of work in that space. Back to the music school. We're now, a whole bunch of ad groups rolling out dedicated pages for things like piano. That's a main one for the client. And every month or two, the client will come back to me and say, hey, we want some more cello students. We want some more violin students. We want some more ukulele, drums, singing, voice, whole bunch of key terms. Now, what we've found is some of those terms get very little traffic, especially in our targeted 10 to 15 kilometer radius. Generally, people won't travel further, which is what we found when we tested this. But what we found is for the less, popular music instruments, people will search for generic key terms like music lessons, music school, and expect you to offer certain music instruments. This is just a key takeaway. Also, what I've discovered in this particular space, people are more inclined to call. So we've displayed the unique Google Ads tracking phone number on the Google ad. So a lot of the time it's the parent that calls to book their students in, their kids in. And essentially they'll see, hey, this is a music school in our area. They'll call the number, and we can see that the call lasts for more than 30 seconds, more than 60 seconds, which is another way that we're tracking conversions, is how long did the call last. We can enable things like call recordings. We don't do that for many of our campaigns, but it's call tracking that we can absolutely set up. So the key takeaway on this particular Google ad campaign, and look, this actually applies to all of our campaigns, is be very precise in your keyword targeting. Too many business owners get very excited about all of the key terms they want to target, and that's just a quick way to burn budget and track less, right? So you want to really limit Google's ability to spend your credit card and really limit Google's ability to go wild, because what it tries to take your money on keyword variations, broad match keywords. They keep changing their algorithm. Essentially, you want to start with the key term that you're 100% sure will bring the results that you want. And you start with a tighter targeting. So a lot of the time our initial campaigns don't actually hit the budget in our targeted area. So what we'll do is we'll expand the geo-targeting to a bigger radius before considering adding new key terms. Now, Google Ads takes a few weeks to properly ramp up, sometimes longer, sometimes less. Depends on competition, depends on keyword volumes, how popular that keyword is. Also just other factors, trust of the Google ad campaign, trust of the agency that runs it, trust of the website, that sometimes there's funny quirks that Google identifies, certain images that are not appropriate. Yeah, I don't know, the music teacher's showing too much skin, etc. So for someone firing up Google Ads for the first time, make sure you do your research, your keyword research, and that's really simple. You look at a few competitors. You also look at websites from UK, from Canada, and I have a look at their landing pages. You can use various tools like SEMrush, Ahrefs, as well as Google AdWords, I think Transparency Center. That doesn't perform too well for me, but there's plenty of places online where you can get a snapshot of what that landing page looks like, and you can actually see. Yeah, a lot of the time when you're browsing a website, you can see that this is an LP. It would be like /LP or -LP or something like that. So have a look at 10 ads that are currently being run, because if established companies are running these ads and this ad has been on for a few months or a few years sometimes, then chances are it's converting, it's working. I would then look at some of their Facebook ads. No doubt that there's Facebook ads being run for music lessons, because you can target based on geo, you can target based on parent with 10-year-old, 5-year-old, etc. So Facebook ads definitely should work in this space as well. So have a look at their ad copy, and that will help you understand what kind of key terms are being used, what kind of sentences are being used, and that should help you create your first landing page that will hopefully convert. Make the landing page simple. Someone looking for music lessons lands on a page with a big title called music lessons. They can quickly see some reviews. They can quickly see a photo of your teachers, a photo of happy kids. A very simple form. So this client decided that they wanted lots of questions asked in the form. Don't do that. That creates too much friction. For things like Google Ads, where you're about to start spending money per click, start spending money on conversions. I just don't want to lose my dogs. Where are my dogs? Here are my dogs. What are you guys doing? You really want to make that process frictionless. You want to jump on a call and you want to speak to them if that's money that you're spending. Did you guys just lose the ball? Did you just lose my favorite ball? We're gonna have to go looking for the ball. Essentially what I'm trying to say is if you're running a pay-per-click campaign, you want to make it frictionless. Make the form very simple: name, email, phone number, message. We have a drop-down section of choose your instrument. Oh, good boy, Julio. Good boy. Julio's got the ball. He knew exactly where he hit it. So we do have an optional section there where you choose your instrument, but we made it optional. Less friction means more inquiries, more phone calls, and more chance that you're going to jump on a call with the client and hopefully close that business. Later on, when you get busy, yes, absolutely, we can create these systems that essentially weed out and make the internal processes a bit more comfortable. And that's just what happens with getting busier, getting close to hitting capacity, etc. Then you start implementing things that weed out and help with internal admin. A good example of this is we've got a campaign in the managed print solutions. So these guys do big office print solutions for large offices and stuff like that. We started off initially with a form that's just name, email, phone number, and a basic message of what are your requirements. Then when the leads started to pick up, the business got busier, they had less time because the first question is, hey, how many staff, how many printers do you need? Do you need a color printer? How fast do you want to print? So we actually made a more thorough online only type experience where they go through a form and essentially answer 20 or 30 questions, and we find that those inquiries are definitely of high quality. The client loves them more. The cost per lead goes up a little bit. someone looking for a quick quote, it just weeds them out. But that's what happens when you get busy. You want to be careful who you spend your time with. Hope that makes sense.